didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?" That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world.
Welcome on into another episode of the Healthy Discussion Show. So today's topic, we're going to do a reaction video on Mr. Zelensky, Ukraine, you know, where they were sending your money to without you being fully represented. I call it a laundromat, money laundering place. That's just my opinion of it. Let me know what you think down below. I really want to know what you think. Before I get into this video, the only thing I ask for you guys to do is smash that like button, get me to 10,000 subs. I appreciate people for emailing this to react to. Hit the AirTag EMF protector, and let's get into the show. How y'all feeling today? It's Monday, 6:07 a.m. Eastern Time. How you feeling?
I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred, and I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
When you see Trump hand move like that, you know he mean business. I'm telling you, he's measuring you up, he's sizing you up, he means business. But let's go.
Question.
Hey, I want to respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried.
Pause. One thing about JD, I must say, he backs Trump up all the way, and he's well-spoken. He's well-spoken.
The pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the president of the United States' words mattered more than the president of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, parts of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact
2015.
2014.
2014 and
2014.
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah, but
that's exactly right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, the situation the same. That people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversations, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him. Me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring it into this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count once.
I have actually.
See, and this is where Zelensky went wrong. when they're talking, only one person can talk at a time. Else it's going to be a yell match and people not going to get their point across. When you're spoken to, you should be quiet. You should listen. You should wait for the person to finish and or reiterate, hey, are you done? If they say yes, then you go in and state your points. But all this disruption, I don't like the fact that he's disrupting. This is the United States of America, a superpower. JD get a point for that one. Also, pay attention to body language. Why do Mr. Zelensky has his hand folded, hands crossed? A stress position. Body language speak louder than words. Let me know what you guys think.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know that.
bless you.
Sneak this alert, sneak this, pause. Zelensky, that's a threat. Oh, you're not going to feel it now, but you're going to feel it later. What? And you're sitting down trying to have meetings with these people? Oh, kick them out. Zelensky's getting kicked out. Get out of the White House. You don't belong there. Get out. Kick him out.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
Making government more efficient requires data and facts.
That was well.
I'm Steve.
We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on this
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this.
you're doing.
I'm not
You're
dictating.
in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're
will-
going to feel very
you will
good.
feel influenced.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influenced.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the very
bad position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From the
it.
very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a good
Brown,
position.
I
You don't
was-
have the cards right now. With us, you start
I'm
having
not playing
cards.
cards.
He said, I'm not playing cards. It was a figure of speech, Zelensky. You're not in a great position right now because your old administration is out the window. Even they left you behind. What do you think the Russians going to do with you then? But this is, to me, it's bigger than that, right? Let's read beyond the headlines, right? Ukraine has a lot of natural resources. Who runs America? The business sector. Don't you think that these businesses need your natural resource? So either you're going to delegate a plan to and or do some business, or they simply going to take it. Russia said, you know what, we're not even going to do business with you. We're simply going to take it. Because men, that's what men do, brute force. Understand that. So Zelensky, you're really not in the right position to be arguing with the United States of America, which then protects you because of NATO, which they need to abolish NATO sometimes anyway. But you got to remember, these things are done based on business behalf. Why do you think that Elon right-hand man is, why do you think Trump right-hand man is Elon? It's business at the end of the day. I'm sure Elon can use some of his natural resources, lithium to be exact. But let's continue.
Right now, you don't.
I'm very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives of
anymore.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III.
What do you
You're
think about-
gambling with
what do you
World
think
War III. And
Yeah.
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country,
I'm
that's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
Very
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation.
One thing about Vance, he's 100% the VP. He backs Trump no matter if he's right, no matter if it's wrong. Have you said any form of gratitude, Mr. Zelensky? Perhaps not.
For the United States of
What are you
America
speaking about?
and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not
Yeah.
speaking loudly. Your country's
Can I-
in big
can I-
trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet.
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
We gave
for
you
your
military equipment, and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave, but they had to use our military.
What about
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military,
He said you voted for your president. So you know Biden gave them $350 billion. You got to understand that's y'all taxpayer money, right? And this is how this man is acting in the White House. And then he state, well, you guys voted for your president. What outmost disrespect. But yet you come in with your hands out saying that you need this and you need that. What outmost disrespect. Zelensky, you got to go. You got to go. Then you're trying to cut the president off on national television?
equipment.
You invited
If
me
you
to
didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
in 3 days. I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks. Of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I
Again,
tell you.
just say thank you.
I said a lot of times
that there,
to American people.
Except that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low
know.
on soldiers. Listen,
Don't please,
you're running
Mr.
low
President.
on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a
But I
ceasefire.
said to you,
I want a
with
ceasefire
guarantees.
because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That
It
wasn't
doesn't
with
matter for
me.
you what.
That
what
wasn't
is-
with me.
It
That was
wasn't
with
you.
a guy named Biden who was not a smart person.
This
That
is
was
your-
with,
this
that was
is
with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama who gave you sheets. And I
He don't understand, right? That we're under a new presidency. And you can't blame the man for what someone else have done. But when the money came in, it was also good. It was also fine. He's letting you know that was out of his hands. And now that he's here right now, he can do the best that he can for you. But yet you still having something called an attitude. Please get him on out of there. He gotta go.
gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets.
Let bygones be bygones. Get him on out of there. Let the bullets keep flying, obviously.
In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a tough deal to make
Uh,
because the attitudes have to change.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks?
Making government more efficient requires data and facts. I'm Steve.
Pardon the
What do you do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you saying?
What
She's
if
asking,
Russia-
what if
Putin
Russia breaks the
breaks
ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him.
and that's the difference. And this is why you need this form of leadership. If you talk about the United States, do I agree with everything this man say? And I understand that mostly political situations don't really have much to do with us, right? Because it's all a business, right? But you still need a representation like this, someone of strong brute force. I'm in all agreement with them. They don't respect Obama. They don't respect Biden. They wouldn't respect Kamala. but they damn sure have some respect for Mr. Trump himself. Now, let's go on to this week. It is currently March the 3rd, but on the 4th, which is tomorrow, right? Today is Monday, the 3rd. On the 4th, they're going to talk about tariffs. So let's go to TikTok real quick. Switch the perspectives up. Once again, how you guys feeling? How you doing? Hopefully you guys are doing well. Nonetheless, let's see what they're talking about with the 25% tariff to Canada, another 25% tariff to Mexico, and what will be the side effects of that, and an extra 10% to China, which means China is at a 20% as we speak. China has more leverage than Canada and Mexico to me, because without China, a lot of things won't go on. But let's just see what they have to say about these things. We're going to go to a couple of people to get different perspectives.
Yesterday was the first economical blackout, but do not rush and run back into these stores and spend up all your money. Come on, Super Latina, Auntie, let's talk about it, y'all. So y'all know originally Donald Trump was supposed to put tariffs on China, Mexico, and Canada, right? He deferred it for 30 days. He pushed it out for 30 days. You know, a lot of us got sidetracked because we was worried about income tax and the blackout and plane crashes and everything else. But let me bring it back to y'all face. March 4th, 2025, just 3 days away, those tariffs will be put into place. So what does that mean for us? Let me educate my people. Since they love to call me loud and wrong, I educated myself first, and I'm going to pass my information off to you guys. At first, China had a 10% tariff. Now it's a 20%. They added an additional 10% on China goods. We get a lot of our produce from Mexico. So that means the cost of produce is going to skyrocket. What you could get for $1, you're going to be paying $2 and $3 for now. Doubling and tripling the price of produce. We also get aluminum, clothing, toys, steel, electronics, and car parts from Canada, y'all. What that means for your car. A lot of us that didn't have vehicles, when we got our income tax, we went out and purchased new used cars, y'all. If you need a part, you might have been able to get this part for $152 prior to this happening. Now that part gonna be $300, $400. It's going to double. So my thing is, this video is not to put fear into anybody, because if you believe in God and you pray, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But be mindful. This video is to make you mindful of your decisions that you're choosing to make with your money while you have it, because the price of things will change, and you want to be able to keep your stuff afloat. You know, so what you should create you is a rainy day fund. Stick you a little change over to the side for just in case things happen. If nothing happened and you cool, fine, you ain't running no produce, cool, this video ain't for you. But if you eat produce and you just purchased a new vehicle, or your vehicle ain't spot brand new and it could nothing ever happen to your vehicle, this video ain't for you. But if, like all of us, we have vehicles that have issues that come about, things happen, y'all. Put you some money to the side.
Her accent is tremendous, but she's not saying anything wrong. She's not trying to introduce and or produce fear. What she's doing is creating awareness, and I agree with everything she said. That was actually well said. Let's go.
You may have noticed more Made in Canada or Buy BC labels at the grocery store. Now, Premier d.o.g.e says there will also be an increase in Buy BC ads to spread the word about supporting local businesses.
We will be strong in the face of this tariff threat. We will support each other, and we will come through the other end stronger.
EB also announced a new online tool with the latest information about tariffs, government responses, and support for individuals and businesses.
You'll find the information there about what our government is doing to respond, and how you, whether you're traveling or whether you're buying groceries or other products, can help support this effort to support Canadians in this time.
It's a welcome move for food producers like Delta's Winsett Farms. Some produce like tomatoes, cucumbers, and lettuce typically cannot grow in the wintertime in BC, but Winsett is able to supply them locally year-round by growing them in their LED-lit greenhouse.
When I say 90% of our product stays here, plus it may be 100% this year if the tariffs are put in.
He says the minority of his produce goes to the US, Japan, and Hong Kong. Grocery chain Save on Food meanwhile says they work with more than 2,000 local growers and have thousands of items that are made in Canada or a product of Canada.
We do have over 2,000 items on the shelves that are identified with Canadian flags at this time, that we're 100% sure, and they say whether they're product of Canada or made in Canada or not.
Premier EB says his team.
Okay.
Today is March 1st. In 3 days, 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico will go into effect, and a 20% tariff on China will go into effect. Stock up on essentials, lentils, beans, dry beans, rice. We are headed towards economic failure and probably a collapse, realistically. In 2008, when we were playing the Wii in the living room and our parents were stressing behind closed doors, we are now the parents stressing as fuck behind the closed doors, okay? It is going to help because I need to stop spending anyways. So as a stay-at-home mom, I've been pretty privileged to be able to spend a little money here and there and not really have to worry.
See, she's a stay-at-home mom, which can be a good thing if you under a man guidance. So obviously she's doing the right thing. She don't have to feel the hardship of it, but most people aren't like that. 80% of people aren't. So what would you guys do? Leave your thoughts down below in the comments.
About it. That is now changing. I'm going to be doing a buy the absolute least that you need. Only buy what you need. So
Not what
liberty,
you want.
liberty, liberty. No, but seriously, the little things that I can do, my kids are growing out of their clothes, donate them to other mothers. We're not giving it to Goodwill. We're not giving it to another store that's going to resell it. I don't care if you're even a small business. Realistically, I'm giving it to another mother for free. This is not fear-mongering. This is just, it's time.
I kind of like what she just said about it. That's more of a community vibe.
Okay, so President Donald Trump just announced today that starting March 4th, 2025, the United States will be rolling out 25% tariffs on Canada, 25% tariffs on Mexico, and an additional 10% tariff on China. Now, his reasoning behind this is that he says that these world leaders have been abusing their relationship with the United States for far too long, but he also says that he doesn't blame them for doing so. He actually blames the weak leadership of the United States for letting it happen. Now, the big difference with today's press conference and what he's saying is there's no public negotiations going on between these world leaders. Last time, a couple weeks ago, they came to the conclusion that they'll pause it for 30 days if Mexico does X, Y, and Z, and if Canada does X, Y, and Z, and ultimately everyone agreed to those rules. This has nothing to do with that. He's no longer saying we're going to put 25% tariffs on your country unless you do X, Y, and Z. Now he's just saying starting March 24th, there will be tariffs on China, Mexico, and Canada. So after Trump came out with this, there has been some reactions. One being the stock market. It took a pretty good dip today, and many expect it to continue falling in the near future. And also, there's been some conservative voices out there speaking out against this. Most notably, I would say Ben Shapiro, basically saying that he agrees with the idea of putting tariffs on Mexico, but he just doesn't understand what Trump is trying to pry out of Canada. So whether this actually moves forward or whether it's a negotiating tactic, only time will tell.
Okay. That was well said. Leave your thoughts down below.
Okay, so President Donald.
Leave your thoughts down below. Smash that like button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. This is the beginning. This is not the end. Another episode of the Healthy Discussion Show. Let me know what you guys think about these tariffs and about Zelensky. On that note, peace, blessings, and love. And remember,